Good morning, everyone. My name is Yuko, and I am a happiness promoter and a student of A Course in Miracle. And in this video, I talk about my take on what lessons that I'm doing, and also the daily reminder, whatever that is coming up for me according to that lesson. So I hope you enjoy, and if you have any comments, feel free to type in the comment, and we'll connect. Okay. So I feel like I say this all the time, and I also say that I feel like I say that all the time. All the time. But here it goes. This is really cool one. Lesson 45. God is the mind with which I think. God is the mind with which I think. Hi, hi, hi. Right? And you think with the mind of God, therefore you share your thoughts with him as he shared his with you. There are the same thoughts because they are the thought by the same mind. To share is to make alike or to make one. And another thing that I highlighted was that we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. Oh, that's the good one. Let me say that one more time. We will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible. We will try to understand that only what God would have us do is what we want to do. And we will also try to remember that we cannot fail in doing what He would want us to do. There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God. How powerful, how powerful is that? There is right? There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God. We are awake, we're breathing, I'm talking to you, and you're watching me speak, right? That is also a part of His will. Imagine. This is so magical and so wild. And I'm gonna go back a little bit on yesterday's lesson, right? And it's that God is the light in which I see. And this is magical in that you cannot see the darkness and you cannot make light. You cannot make darkness and then think you see in it. But light reflects life, and is therefore an aspect of creation. Creation and darkness cannot coexist, but light and life must go together, being but different aspects of creation. This is so good, right? Creation and darkness cannot coexist, but light and life must go together, being but different aspect of creation. Let's talk about for a minute, yes? Let's talk about it. I think this is so cool. What came up to me is the circle of life, right? Circle of life. There is a creation, maintenance, and destruction. Creates, maintenance, and destruction. We were born and we live, and then we at least leave this body, right? So we are born and we live, and we leave this body, and then we're born. I don't know if you believe in like a reincarnation. I truly believe that we are born in this form of body and this time of the this time of the life, but everybody has a different thing, and that's what it is. Even in yoga, it's a om. It's the three syllables of O-U-M, om, and it reflects that creation, maintenance, and destruction. It's a whole three thing. It's a circle of life, and it makes me want to sing not so God, yeah, but that anyways. And God is the mind in which I think. And these are the first time I was doing this workbook, that is, the first time I was doing this workbook, I think I was just reading it. I was just reading all these chapters, all these lessons, and I don't think I understood it. Like, intellectually, probably I've gotten a little bit, but not to the gut, right? And even right now, like, I think I'm like barely dropping down all these information a little bit more towards the heart or the, right, a little bit close to it. But as I do all this practice every day, because they're suggested that it's not enough that you read it, right? You actually have to implement that in your life. You really want to do the work. It's like the same thing as riding the bicycle or making the cake, right? You can read all about it, and do you know how to ride a bike? No, unless you're in a matrix, right? And that's the Matrix, the movie. It's so cool because like you download it and it's instantaneous, and there is no time, there is no space, everything is just there. That's why Trinity and everybody can jump from here to here, and it's all in mind. Remember, if the little kid said when they're bending the spoon, is that the trick is that there is no spoon. So whatever you can do, create with your mind, you can create it. How awesome is that? I love that movie. God is the mind that we think, and it is in His will that we are going to succeed today. There's no need to worry about failing, because failing is what? In whose definition of failing? It is our definition of failing, right? I may want to do this practice 3 times a day, or 4 times a day, or 10 times a day, and because my intention and my expectations are there to set that much, so when I don't meet that, it is going to be considered as a failing, in my opinion. But if I do it once or twice, that's even better than where I was when I was not doing anything. So compared to what? Compared to what am I failing? Compared to what are we like less than? Compared to what are we not good enough? Right? It is all our expectations and all our ideas of how things should be or how things should not be, and what the definition of the perfect quotes and quotes is. So it is our comparison, and we're carrying out our stories and our lesson and all the things from the past. That's why our like our thermometer regarding to the success or happiness is all like very funky, right? It's all very funky. So we get to check in on that. We get to check in and say like, hey, according to what? Hey, based on what? Hi, how are you? Hello, thank you for watching. T. Lee Jones. Hi, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're getting something from it. Right? And that's no one other thing. And we all get to check in with that. Like we get to check in every single day and be curious. I think we forget to be in, oh, thank you for watching. I am so glad. So, right, we get to check in with that. And then one of the things that I'm realizing that it's not happening in my daily life is that you're like number 7. Awesome. So one of the things that I realize in my daily life and as I practice is that I've forgotten to ask questions. I've forgotten to ask questions, right? How am I doing? Or what do I want? Or how am I feeling? All these little things, and that constant checking in ourselves. Because during the yoga classes, I often tell people, listen to your body. But in order for us to listen, first we have to pay attention and we have to be curious, and then to ask ourselves a question and say like, how am I feeling? Or what am I feeling? And I love when people say, how am I asking? The answer to that could come with a judgment. So what am I feeling would be a more interesting question to answer because there's a less judgment, right? You're a Catholic. Awesome. I'm talking about A Course in Miracle. And so if you're familiar with A Course in Miracle, it is not a religion. It's not religion, right? They use a Christianity term, but the definitions are slightly different, and principles are everything is either love or the absence of love, and like where there is less absence of light, there is a call for love, right? So we get to share light in it. We get to share love, and hence everything is love. So that's the principle, that's the ways of being, the ways of life, and that's the practice. And everybody gets to practice in a different way, and everybody has a different personalized curriculum because we all go through different things, different lives. So that's what it is, and I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, if you like it, please like it, subscribe, and do whatever you got to do. And I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.